Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your kilted commentary services. How are you all? We're all doing very, very well. Now, settle yourselves down, grab yourself a drink, put your feet up, put the movie on, that helps. And we're going to do a little video commentary on the great exploitation Jaws ripoff. It's Jaws on land, it's Paws, it's Grizzly from 1976. Christopher George, Richard Jekyll, Andrew Prine, and a Kodiak bird called Teddy. It is one of the Nature Fights Back movies from the 70s. Did a lot of this sort of stuff. This is one of the best. It is unashamedly a Jaws ripoff, but it's really, 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 really good. I love it. The producers and the writer had sort of a bear encounter. I think it was the writer said a bear wandered into their camp and they were out in the woods one particular occasion, and the producer said, that's a good idea for the movie. We'll use a bear, not a shark. We'll have a national park, it's summertime, let's keep the park open for all those foolish campers. Well, there's a great big prehistoric beast on the rampage. Let's have a heroic Brody style park ranger and his two cohorts. Yeah, it's Brody, Quint and Hooper in this movie tracking down what, well, figures vary for this. It could be a 15 foot, it could be 16 foot. In certain advertising blurb, it's 18 foot grizzly bear. But it's a throwback grizzly bear. It's come down from the high country and it's got a taste for human flesh, and it will not stop chowing down on ridiculous campers and rangers. But the park administrator, the director, Kittredge, who is simply just a rehashed version of Murray Hamilton's Mayor Vaughan from Jaws. You know, you get the picture. He wants to keep the place open. He doesn't want to listen to all the facts, no matter how many bodies keep turning up in various states of limb loppage. He just wants to keep the park open and make some moolah. So there's our scene, which has now been set. But this film is great. I saw it back in 1976 when it first got released in the UK. And I saw it every night for probably about 2 weeks at our local flea pit, the Phoenix Cinema in Wallasey Village. Banged on about that place so many times, you guys know it, you feel like you've been there. And this is one of the films that I was there day one on this release. It was a certificate A at the time, like Jaws was. And this is gorier than Jaws. This is actually nastier than Jaws. And because Jaws got away with it, they obviously thought, well, the censors were quite lenient at the time. You've got limbs taken off, you've got gore everywhere, you've got kids being damaged in this movie. Now, women are fair game as well. So, Jaws and Grizzly just sit in the same sort of lenient sort of bandwidth, got away with absolute bloody murder. Now, I saw this certificate A, and I was only, what would I be? I'd be 6 or 7 years old at the time when this came out. Loved it. The main star, Christopher George, sadly now deceased, went very young, at about the age of 52, I think it was. He died of a massive heart attack. He was a heartthrob. He was a grizzled, action, rugged, proper man's man. Heavy drinking, which is what brought about his sad demise, of course. Married to Linda Day George, and they were a great sort of couple out and about in Hollywood and all that. But he didn't fall for all the bullshit. He wasn't one of these, the big I am, an egotistical swine. He was a proper rugged bastard. But he made some great exploitation movies. He was a great actor, acted opposite John Wayne. He's been in many westerns, many TV shows, and a huge gamut of great exploitation, horror, fantasy, and stalk and slash stuff. I said fantasy there. Don't think he made a fantasy movie, but and boy, I wish he'd gone on to even more, because he really was cementing a role in our kind of movies. And I would sit there because I used to get in for nothing all the time. Although when this came out, I actually went with my family and then went with lesser degrees of family over the ensuing nights. And then it was a case of like, oh God, he wants to go and see Grizzly again. Someone, let's draw straws. and then some unlucky relative would have to take me to come and watch it all over again. But I was addicted, and I'd sit on the front row. This was a 2-screen cinema, and this is in proper, it's proper gorgeous 235 widescreen, and I'd sit there, and even though it's low budget, it would just be huge across the screen, and I'd be looking at all these gorgeous landscapes, and this fucking big bear charging around, limbs flying across the screen, blood going everywhere, and like just agog. It was just, even like watching King Kong from '76 didn't seem as big to me as this did. Same year as well. But anyway, so we're going to do a commentary track on this now, and I am playing the UK Blu-ray of this from, who is it now? 88 Films. Yeah, 88 Films. So it's a good transfer as well. It's a bit lacking in extra features. I've got the Media Blasters US version on DVD and on Blu-ray, and I've got another Blu-ray of it somewhere as well, but this is the one that came to hand. Luckily the film, my good mate Scrowy down under, got a few tinnies out, he'll be watching along. He said it's actually the full version of this, the full movie is available in HD on YouTube, so you guys can like put that on right now. When I give the word, when I say press play, you hit play, and then we should be sort of in sync, hopefully. Now, the idea is, I know the camera's on me, even though the film's on YouTube, I don't think I can turn it round and show you the film, although I'd like to do that, but I think somehow or other I didn't care the wrath of the YouTube gods, so I ain't going to do that. But you'll hear it in the background. It won't be too loud, because obviously the idea is I'm talking over it. So little provisos for these these kilted commentaries, because it's going to become quite a mainstay, hopefully, of the channel. Just another little extra facet of the channel. Obviously, it would help if you'd seen the film first. So you don't want to go into it completely new and you just hear me talk all over it. Well, that ruins the whole frigging point, doesn't it? Watch the film. If you've got the film, great, put on whatever version, or if it's on YouTube, fine, or if it's downloadable, streamable, just put it on and then watch it, so that when you come to watch me or listen to me prattle on about it, it works better. And also, I know the camera's on me, and I'm going to try my damnedest not to keep talking to the camera and maybe showing you things, because I know how prone I am to do that. The idea is you just keep watching the film and just listen to me over the top. There you go. There's the rules. Oh, well, the rules are, if you've got alcohol, drink it. And I've got some whiskey here. Not a lot. That won't last too long throughout this movie, and it's only a short movie as well. Anyway, cheers, folks. Grizzly! And you're hearing, this is on the main menu screen, this is the Robert O'Raglan's actually really lovely score for this movie. I'll talk more about that. And afterwards, folks, I'll talk a lot throughout the movie, obviously, about various things, but when the film's finished, there'll be an epitaph. I'll talk maybe some more themes and overall thoughts and ideas. So let's just kick back and enjoy Grizzly. Right, so folks, I'm now pressing play on this, but I'm going to freeze it on the logo for the movie itself, so we all get together. Right, there's a little distributors blurbiage coming on here. Multicom Entertainment Group presents, and now you're going to get, hang on, black screen. Okay, I think it's Film Ventures. There's some apples, or are they peaches or I don't know what they are. There's an animated screen here, and there's some apple things coming down. And then you will get the Film Ventures logo. So let's get on that. Film Ventures International is on now. The film will now begin. Let's hope you're all on board. Big, old school, credits there. That font, big, yellow. William Girdler film. And there's a shot very similar to the opening of The Thing. There's Andrew Prine playing Don Stover. He will function as sort of like the Quint character, because you'll have the heroic trio of Brody, Quint and Hooper, but heroic Park Ranger Kelly, played by Christopher George, will be the Brody character. Don will be the Quint, but you've also got Richard Jekyll as the bear specialist and the naturalist who's out there in the woods. He will play the Hooper character. But interesting, the two of them will interchange. They'll both become Quint. They'll both become Hooper as it goes on. Richard Jekyll, the great Richard Jekyll. Oh yes. See, these three main characters, I adore them. Grizzly. Robert Ragland's score at the moment it's very sort of like TV movie of the week. It's all lights and woo, lovely. The Love Boats. Great Joe Dorsey's in there as well. Listen, little xylophone. But I love that when the title Grizzly came on, it went menacing. It dropped down an octave or two. This is all filmed in Clayton, Georgia. And I think, although I'm not too sure, it's actually Black Rock Mountain Park. Which is a national park in America. We will talk a lot about national parks in America and how this film is actually quite prescient in that the park administrator Kittredge, played by Joe Dorsey, is he's the Mayor Vaughan. You know, doesn't want any of this news to get out. Bear killings. Oh, kind of keep it under a lid. And he's angry with Kelly. You know, you're a maverick, Kelly. You'll hear that line. And it's clearly, at the time this film was made, it's based purely on the format of Jaws. But as we've now learned, and if any of you guys are familiar with the Missing 411 phenomenon, led by the great David Paulides, which I urge you to look at his documentaries and his YouTube channel, read his books as well. The missing people in American national parks is reaching an unbelievable level of just, well, what the hell is going on? But the national parks clamp down, the park administrators close up all, coroner's reports aren't released, details aren't released, lists of missing people are not released, because they want to keep the parks open and they don't want to talk about what's really going on. Now, I've just done a crash course in that there for you. But what I like about the film is that, although we all think, oh, he's just Mayor Vaughan, in actual fact, now we know a lot more about how the hierarchy and the monarchy of the way these things are run, the dictatorial setup of these national parks in America, and possibly elsewhere in the world as well. It's all run in the same sort of format. It's a closed shop. He's actually very, very... That's how they act. But at the time when this film was made, they didn't know that. And listen, the orchestra is the Royal London Philharmonic Orchestra as well. Look at this, it's all sweet and lovely. And we've got Jeeps as well, Ranger Jeeps. It's like I love the Jeep that Brody has in Amity. It's better than that. Directed by William Girdler, who would do another film of this kind called Day of the Animals with Christopher George a couple of years later. Here he is, Christopher George.
I wouldn't miss a Kelly briefing for the world.
There is some naff dialogue, let's be honest.
This is the largest postseason crowd we've ever had. Just no way with this skeleton crew that we're going to be able to handle it.
What Kelly's concerned about is we got more backpackers pitching tents than raccoons in the woods.
Okay, now everybody goes out in the...
That's Ranger Tom.
There's no way we can keep an eye
And that's Ranger Gale.
Oh, we're just...
Ranger Tom and Ranger Gale
Okay, everybody knows where they're supposed to go.
have got something going. Ranger Tom is
Kelly,
he's a horny bastard.
my apologies.
Accepted.
And going up to R4.
You know, maybe the two of us should go.
It's really loaded up there, Cal.
This is it. The two of them want to go up together.
Well, you see, Hayes called in sick. So I'm going to need Gail down here to kind of hold down the fort.
Yeah. Put your boner back in your pants, boy.
Talk to you later for dinner.
Okay.
A lot of the work. Hey, see that on the wall there? The carving of a grizzly bear. Bit of foreshadowing there. This is the big Alpine hotel ranch style. But see that carving was foreshadowing what's going to happen. And it was a gore-drenched, grizzly on its back legs.
What are those?
Here's the love interest. This is Alison, who's this pipe-smoking guy's daughter. Now, she's Joan McCall. I'm not sure if at the time of this film's production, she was married to the writer David Sheldon. David Sheldon apparently directed some scenes as well. I'm not too sure how accurate that really is, but I've heard that. Exposition drop here.
Yeah, well, keeping check on how your old man is doing is not going to help you meet your deadline.
I only got maybe a third to go.
But yeah, she married. She was certainly married to David Sheldon later.
Allison, why don't you write a how-to book? How to avoid
Look at him.
responsibility.
Oh, hell.
He's a fucking awesome dude, isn't he?
Kelly, I'm sorry.
Let's go.
His face is amazing. I get told off for drinking too much, but then I see people like him and think, oh, fuck it, so what? Look at him.
Sweet of you to come and get me. I really appreciate it.
Well, I should be angry.
Strong jawline.
I mean, I said
He's
I
got
can't do it.
pearly blue eyes. Got good hair.
I'm an important person around here.
He's better looking than her, that's for certain. Look at her. Little pug nose thing.
How long have you known me?
And you may notice they are absolutely slathered in makeup, aren't they?
Pretty heavy work.
Again, another hallmark of sort of TV style.
Needed. I mean, Dad's taken on a lot more than he can
This was
handle,
an
so,
independent movie,
I feel just a bit
and it was actually really, really successful. I think it was the most successful independent movie of this year. And of course, this is 76, and in 78, what was the most successful independent movie and broke all the records? Halloween! Ah, it's all jaunty, isn't it? The woods are lovely. Two girls together in the woods with their flared jeans on, hippie patches sewed in as well. One of them girls is wearing the Royal Stewart tartan. A lot of Yanks wear plaid. They wear plaid shirts, but it's actually tartan. And they haven't got a clue of its heritage. Any of you watching me right now, you can see the bear, the stuffed bear I've got in the corner. He's actually got like a dicky bow on, which happens to be the Royal Stewart. Oh, listen.
What's that? There's something out there.
There's something out there. It's the woods, hon. Oh, it's just horny old Ranger Tom, stumbling upon two girls alone in the woods.
I didn't mean to.
What can we do for you?
Stay out of trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Well, just don't take any
Yeah, what
unnecessary
kind of trouble?
risks. This is a pretty tricky area.
You're in the fucking wilderness. What kind of trouble can you get up to?
Short day, right after we eat.
Don't forget to check in at the ranger station before you leave.
Don't worry, we'll be down before it gets dark.
Okay.
Look at them shirts. You know, if I was wearing that, there'd be sweat pouring out of me. Although it's super like widescreen cinematography, it can't help but look a bit flat. Here we go. Who's this? Well, it's not Father Christmas, is it? He's not the stealthiest of bears because he's fucking loud, isn't he? You'd hear him a mile away. I love these points of view shots though. And Raglan's score. Dun, 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 dun. And he can hear the girls laughing. Time to get moving.
Why don't you start on the chant, and I'll get the flower.
Okay, but I have to go first.
Whenever it comes to cleaning up, you always have to go.
I'll be right back.
A lot of rumours were that the actress who played Chrissy Watkins, the first shark victim in Jaws, was in this. Susan Backlany. She's not. A lot of marketers tried to do a lot of, there's so many callbacks to Jaws, and we even got some of the stars. She wasn't in it, folks. I do love these old school creepy scenes. I'm actually on the edge of my seat right now thinking about it. It still bugs me, still gets me now. He hasn't got a clue where he's going, has he? Oh, the way he stands up like that, the camera moves up to give him some height. Fucking hell. Oh no. No. Oh. Straight away, your first killing, you've got the blood from the mouth, which ends Jaws. The quince with the blood coming out of his mouth. Okay, she's not the best actress in the world, let's be honest. It would be terrifying, man. I love this sequence. You get to a shack, you're gonna go in it. It's possibly the worst thing you could do. Because it's gonna come storming right the way through it. Look at that, he's coming through the bloody roof. Oh! The echo. I actually like that. I think that's a great scene. Look at Christopher George. He's so natural.
You never stop shooting, do you?
Most of what I shoot, I don't use wrong angle, wrong light.
Wrong faces.
No, the faces are never wrong.
Can you see the tartan she's wearing there? It's a very faded McDonald. Oh God, I forgot which one it is now. I've got it. It's a McDonald white. I know that, but I think they refer to it as the McDonald wedding tartan.
See, cracking already.
Oh God. No offense, Joe McCall, but
Hey. Where you going? Up dock forward. Got a couple missing girls. Oh.
look at that. Like he's straight away. Oh, but aren't you involved with Ranger Gale? Got a couple of missing girls. Oh.
We'll follow you. Go ahead. Okay.
Tom's like, oh shit. I was gonna get it on with those two. And if they didn't let me, then they'd be just a couple of lesbians. A couple of muff munchers. A lot of this is quite lowland for the park here. A lot of underbrush and scrub. Folks, I'm a sucker for scenes where they find the bodies and the mystery begins. This is a hark back to the great 50s creature feature, Them, which I've covered a lot on the channel, where they find a lot of shacks and caravans look okay from the front, but when you go around the back, it's ripped open.
Hey, hold it.
These weren't burst out.
Check out the shack.
They were burst inwards. Something came in. So it goes around the side here. Like, fuck. What the hell did this? Uh-oh. There's a great... I know you guys are thinking, oh, so what? When I was a kid, that was hugely jarring, and what you're going to see in a few minutes' time is even more jarring. But I love that transition there from the bright, gaudy, day-glow, Crayola, blood and gore. And why did the bear shove the body in the rafters of the shack? They bury them. They don't put them in trees. Not normally. But it's just an interesting thing. But it cuts from the gaudy sort of shock on his face and the blood to that evocative misty shot of all the torches going through. They've got Saw out straight away, search and rescue, because another girl's missing, obviously.
Remember, we're probably not looking for a full body. Kelly,
Look at these two boneheads.
what's going on?
Terrible actors.
There. He attacked and killed a girl. Jeez.
That's all we need, a killer bear on the loose.
Well, there were two of them. We haven't found the other.
Jeez, that's all we need, not kill a bear on the loose.
No, too much blood around here for that.
A lot of these workers would be seasonal,
Well, what do
so
you want us to do?
the full-time
The guys up in the West
park ranger staff,
So,
and you've got park ranger police as well who would be involved. You have sheriff's department would be involved. Be a big thing, actually, and the film does that pretty well. It does bring in a lot of people.
Back here to get another angle on the
Oh yeah, there's still a girl missing, remember?
Hey, Cal. Yeah, Parker man came up empty-handed. Well, look, get him back
Here's
out.
Ginger Tom, the horny ranger.
Get that son of a bitch. Hey, come on, Kelly, you can't. We got a killer on our hands. Now, no excuses, please.
Put your packer back in your pants, boy. Oh God, this fucking traumatized me. Jesus. She stumbled and fell. Not just onto, but into the remains of the other girl. And here's the autopsy scene. Again, it's Jaws.
It was a big one, all right.
It seems to me
Listen to this.
Burns came across a cub, got too close, and the mother attacked.
Who is he? Fucking Quincy.
Innocent cub.
Your job is just to work out how they died. Not,
She ate and buried the rest of her meal for later.
It seems to me the girls came across a bear cub,
Shit, we hauled him up there.
and then the mother came for the... How does he fucking know that?
Even fish for him up there. Maybe not enough fish.
Hang on to your sick humor, Doc.
It's not sick. She was hungry enough to eat 2 women. The bear's thing.
See, they're assuming it's a female bear now.
Now let me do it. Just put it in writing for me.
There's always been controversy over whether, the film's called Grizzly, and there's a lot of different accounts as to what bears were used in this movie. We know for a fact that there's a man in a bear suit, and there's a big fake arm. Here's Kittredge, the park administrator.
Goddamn radio.
These two don't get along right from the word go. This is the truth of it. The rangers don't get along with the administrators. Not saying that's everywhere, but it's prevalent. There's something subversive going on with these national parks.
Kelly?
Here he is again.
Okay, that's you.
One of our bears got lonesome. We went over to ranch it.
Came after a little action. Look at him. Like, he's pure Vaughan, isn't he?
It's supposed to be. What are you doing about it?
What do you think I'm fucking doing?
I've got men out in the field hunting. I've put R3 and R4 off limits to camp. I think we can continue in that area. It's okay. This time you keep me informed all the way.
This time you keep me informed all the way.
Investigation. Investigation. What kind of investigation? We have a responsibility to the public. I mean, it's my head.
The thing is, he's not looking after the public at all.
My company. That's where we put him. 2 possibilities. One of them came back.
See, they're saying that they moved all the bears up into the high country,
Arthur Scott knows every bear that's in
but
this
one of the bears has come back down again. No, it's not one of ours. We put them all up.
Talk to you. You get him on the wire and get his ass out of here. Kelly!
You'd fucking slug him in the face, wouldn't you?
I hope I'm not talking to myself.
I've dealt with these fucking pencil pushing pricks
That'll be clear.
so much throughout my life, and the urge to fucking take their head off. Take their head off at the waist is colossal. Look at this, everyone's legging it out of the woods now. There's bears! And the thing, when you're in the water with a shark, don't panic and don't be splashing your arms around. So when you're in the woods, don't make so much noise and like, look, you see a guy, there'll be a kid on a skateboard. You see Bart going past in a minute. How many people are in there? Look, they're fucking laughing as well. Oh, the Youngstonoff love their insignia. Badges everywhere.
You mean you won't connect me?
So, talking about the bears, there's controversy over what kind of bears we used in this. We know that there was a bear called Teddy. Teddy Bear! He was in most of the shots where it's a live action bear. He's a Kodiak bear, right? And there is also apparently a grizzly in here as well. So they did use two different bears. It's obviously footage of real bears, you know, you get that. There's also been a bit of sort of talk about, well, there's no grizzlies in this sort of area. Grizzlies are an inland species, and they do act the way that they do in this movie as well. But sadly, here's Richard Jekyll, one of my heroes again. He's the naturalist, Scotty, who lives out there in the woods. They've just disturbed him. He's been tracking a whole family of deer.
Living with him, and you scared him off. What happened?
Yeah.
The bear killed two girls.
But bears do that anyway. They cover their kill with a shallow grave.
Foreshadowing
Why
here,
they come
folks.
back later and finish eating?
They do that. But I'm afraid, although I love his character, I love this guy, he will spout an enormous amount of absolute bullshit about bears, which is actually a really bizarre thing. They should have done a little bit more research into bears. Bears are omnivores. They'll eat anything. But the thing is, they will primarily eat shrubs, roots, berries, and flora. But they do eat meat as well. And look at the size of them. There's a lot of protein involved in that. A lot of them eat fish, obviously. But they will predate on other live animals. And people. They do eat people. He will say in a minute, Scotty, bears don't eat people. They do eat people. They have eaten people. They will always eat people if they get the chance. You know.
You left.
Oh yeah, the backstory to Kelly.
I made believe I was having an affair. That turned around. So I sold all my holdings, gave the Salvation Army, became a ranger. That turned her off.
You're lying, aren't you?
What do you think?
This romance here with Alison is really hokey. It doesn't work at all. Right, now, the thing about this, look at them, how close they are together. They're not searching for the person, in which case you would be that close together. In fact, you could be shoulder to shoulder. But they're searching out a bear. You'd be massively far widely spaced out than that. Oh, look, it's the Holy Rangers.
These woods are so damn thick you can't see anything anyway.
Yeah, he'd be hiding anywhere.
I love the way they say things like that. These woods are so damn thick, you couldn't see anything anyway. When they're actually stood in a really sparse patch of woods. Why am I knocking this film? I love this movie. Uh-oh. Even the music went dun dun dun. To be fair, lugging cameras around back in the 70s like that, on in uneven ground and on sort of promontories like that, that's dangerous to do. Nowadays you've got your fucking your movie making versions of the GoPro, whatever. But look at this, it's right above it, you can't hear it going. You know what? This waterfall's so beautiful, I'm going to take all my clothes off. By the way, folks, she doesn't take them all off. That's a lovely shot, that. That is actually a beautiful shot. If you listen to the score, there's actually some great 70s wow, wow, warbling sort of synth. Listen to this. Wow, wow, pure 70s. Oh dear. Come here, you! Get your ass over here. A great, almost cliched shot now, of course, of the water turning red, but when I was a kid, that bugged me as well. So, I mean, you've got a bird attack, you know, a bird incident quite regularly. There's a fair bit of stuff in this. Look at him. Christopher George, chain smoker and heavy drinker. I don't do the smoking part. I do fulfill the drinking part then. So they now know that Gale the Ranger's been killed. Lost one of their own now. He likes any bit of scared, hon. Except for you, obviously.
There's something I'm not doing.
Sure. You're not killing the bear.
I don't think I'm cut out for this.
I do get that actually, because he has got a sort of shady past, and he's sort of like given up everything and drifted into being a ranger. But he's found peace and harmony there. So now it's all been disrupted. He doesn't understand what am I supposed to do? I've got the big twat in charge breathing down my neck.
I'm sitting around here crushing ice cubes in my mouth. Where the hell is that damn spot?
So they're waiting for Scotty to come in. Should have beamed him in, shouldn't you, Scotty?
Better have another drink. I've got another ice cube.
She fulfills only a minimal sort of role in this movie, because there really isn't any romance. You only barely see it a couple more times anyway. So what role does she have? It's just pace. It's just slowing down the attacks, the hunt, and all of that. She's just there again for expositional, dump as well. Right, here we go. He's with Don, Vietnam vet Don.
Keeps moving. And he has a few million acres to cover his tracks. Well, if Bill's near clearing, we might just kick him out.
Not sure where Andrew Prine is actually from, but he's got a pure, what I would always count as like pure cowboy Texan sort of drawl.
You like it? Been wearing these things permanently. Have you locked into any of this pattern shit? You know, Bear's got patterns.
They all seem to know, Bear's got patterns.
Moving. Sort of like me. Always trolling. Yeah.
Andrew Prime with those glasses on looks like, do you remember the banana splits? And you had Drooper. He reminds me of Drooper. Oh, what's this? What's down there? Yeah.
Oh boy, that might be our baby.
I don't think so. Marlin, Stingray, shoot through this piano wire. Don't you tell me my business again. Look at this. I do like this proactive stuff. Like, fuck no. I love Christopher George's reaction. It's like, oh fuck. You see, Tim?
You got it, can't. Pictures just been all over me. Better tell that man that bear is not one of ours. You sure? Positive.
They are. You get some bullshit here.
Come on down. Why? I can do better on my own.
You almost got your tail shot off.
Almost.
Boy, if you ain't big bagging the hell you done for you to call that big brown?
It isn't a big brown. It's Grizzly.
Grizzly?
Hmm?
Ain't no grizzlies up here. I used to hunt these woods for years. It can't be a grizzly.
Come on, Scotty, they were killed.
People often
Big bounty on 'em.
confuse brown bears with grizzlies. A grizzly's a subspecies of a brown bear.
I'm telling you, we got a grizzly and then some.
And then
Got
some.
a little bush. Can I hitch a ride back with you?
Yeah. Oh.
You wanted to stay out in the fucking woods.
Grizzly, he's about 7 feet tall.
Some of them shorter.
This one here is at least 15 feet.
Oh, no. Maybe in Alaska. Just maybe. But not back here.
Right here. I just checked the claw marks on a tree.
Well, that means he's established his territory.
The whole damn forest?
See, now, you know, now they know it's a male.
More. According to the depth of his paw prints, he weighs over 2,000 pounds. Boys want a bite?
Look, Scotty, you may be
Nobody wants one of Scotty's butties because God knows what's inside it.
talking about a science fiction, a fairy tale.
Science, yeah. Fiction, no. See, the only known grizzlies that large were called Arctodus ursus horribilis.
Oh.
And they was the mightiest carnivores in the Pleistocene era.
No, well, when was that?
There's a load of bollocks here.
He's a mere baby then. Well, he was a hardy ancestor that managed to hang in there.
What the hell's a million-year-old grizzly doing here?
He's looking for food. See, they were strictly carnivores those times.
As I said before, they're not strictly carnivores.
In that case, let's get the hell out of here.
That's the biggest load of old baloney ever. Omnivores. It'd have to be. There you are. Christ, that's one packed camping area, that, isn't it? You know, I love the outdoors. And camping alone or just with a partner is lovely. But fucking, oh, this is what I hate. It's all these bastards. Shut them fucking kids up. Keep them. I want to hear my music, not yours. Look at it. Hey. Oh, I'm in for a treat tonight. See you, baby bear. In a minute, mama bear. Oh, I better finish this tinny first. Gluk, 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 gluk. Better get the smell of forest sweat off me. See, more tartan. That is a Fraser. Oh. This is the crazy death, this. Holy, it's picked her up by her arms and her legs somehow and is smashing her between two trees. What the fuck? How did it do it? How did it pick her up by her arms are behind her? She's facing the ground. She's 10 foot up in the air and she's being swung between two trees.
Let's go. Go on back to your campsite.
Go on back to your campsites.
Let's go. It's over.
Yeah, I fuck that. I'm going home. I'd rather be at Amity than here. It's safer. Oh.
Well, you can ride the ambulance. Sally loved the whiskey. She really did.
What do you say to someone who's just witnessed that? What the hell do you say? Sorry, I called that tartan a Fraser. It's not, it's a Gordon. Sorry about that. It's a dress Gordon. So the bear was just playing around there. It's like, this is my fucking turf.
What the hell happened?
He came out of nowhere then, didn't he? What the hell happened here, Kelly?
Kelly, this is your baby. You're responsible
Oh, look at that. You know, this is your baby, this is your responsibility. I'll wash my hands of it. You're in charge.
Correction on that. You didn't do the job, Scott.
Hey, you got your head in the sand. We got a killer grizzly on our hands.
Scott, you're a maniac. Always wear.
See, this is Brody and Hooper arguing with Merville.
Johnny, I want that damn bear. Give me some men from Washington.
Yeah, blow this thing out of proportion.
There you go.
The come in here, they leave food around, the bears get the smell of it, and that's it.
Well, this is different. This bum's eating his victims.
I have to agree. 4 people have been killed. So let's quit arguing responsibility. You've got enough.
That's the coroner who came up with that cock and bull at the start. Maybe they found a bear cub and then the mother came back. But I like him though, because he's like, well, you two shut up, you know, we're gonna do something about this. Uh-oh, here we go. It's the Clayton County Militia. All these good old boys and rednecks. We're gonna get him. Armed to the teeth, pissed as farts, high-powered hunting rifles. See now, in this scenario, the problem you've got, if you're a hunter, you want to be in camouflage, so you get up close to your prey and all that. But and they're doing this half right, although that's a fucking clusterfuck right from the word go. Look at them all together, fucking bunch of dickheads. If you're flushing someone else en masse, that's how you do it, but not. There's the one guy that kind of has got it sussed. If you're a hunter and it's en masse, you need to wear bright colours so you don't fucking shoot another hunter. And there you go, no hunting. Now, I could be wrong about this, but in national parks in America, I think 99% of national parks in America, you're not allowed to hunt. You're not allowed to hunt. But here's our Brody, Quint and Hooper triumvirate. I mean, the thing is, you'd understand why that they'd want it to happen. It's going to half the job for the Rangers. You've now got a rogue bear, which is that's not going to stop. It's got a taste for human flesh. You know, we say this, and this is one of the things that when an animal, is just doing what it does naturally, but they've always said this: lions, leopards, cheetahs, fucking bears, sharks. Once you've got a taste for human flesh, they won't stop. Love this enigmatic shots of like the claw markings on the trees, and someone is going, "No fucking hell." But here he is, the old noisy Bruin himself. No comprehension of sneaking up on anybody. But then again, the fucking size and power that he's got, why would he be arsed? So he's wearing the bright colours and he's doing the right thing. He's also going off separately from the mob, which you could also point out as being rather erroneous because he's cut himself off and he's made himself the target. But he's gone out there to hunt this bear, and the bears come for him. There you go, there's a real bear. Is that our first actual shot of the bear's feet? I think it is. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Bears can outrun you, they can outclimb you, they can outswim you. If it's after you, all you can do is give it some porridge. In the hopes it'll leave you alone. Come on, boy. See the bear? How did the bear get ahead of him then? Just behind him. Whoa! Fuck. Still not seen his face yet. It would be on him in seconds. But it's a good scene though. It would have been quicker if you'd just run down the side of it than playing your fireman fire pole trick. Jesus! Okay, I'll give him that getaway. I actually like the fact that it's not another killing, that he does get away. Of course, that mimics in Jaws, the two guys with the pot roast out on the pier. The three of them.
I don't want to stay. I want to know what those hunters are doing out there. I didn't have a choice.
Hunting.
You know, you made it open season for every animal in those woods.
My instructions were clear. They're hunting for bear.
It's not bear, it's grizzly. There's a difference.
A bear is a bear.
A bear is not a bear, believe it or not. Besides, you got a bunch of drunken bums out there, not professional hunters.
I can't help that. You always get a few crazy.
In a way, they're right, because they'll hunt any bear they see. They'll hunt. They'll kill. We know it's a grizzly, but a grizzly is an offshoot of the brown bear. So you'd have brown bears, you'd have black bears, you'd have Kodiaks.
Not in R3 and R4.
So they just kill anything. They would.
Do you think they're walking around with a map or something?
They're no danger.
Bull. No.
Do you think they're walking around with a map? I would hope that they were. Because otherwise, how the fuck are they going to know where they are? In this particular period, there's no GPS. There's no personal locator beacons, none of that. You're a maverick.
Let me tell you something, Kilt. Have you been sitting around here on your fat ass? I've made this forest part of me. You listen. No, you listen.
All of this. No, you listen.
Those hunters are in my jurisdiction. I'm going to deal with the way I see fit. And you just try to stop me. Scotty, wake up.
It's broad strokes, isn't it? The reality is, in this, because of the urgency of the situation, you just eradicate Kittredge from the equation altogether. You'd do it, but you wouldn't last long, because the park administrator will just bring in more authorities.
Bastard got hold of a hunter. He managed to get away.
The National Park Police
Over at the clinic.
and Washington. They mentioned Washington before, bring the people in from Washington. They do. They bring people in from Washington. Who are these people from Washington?
Okay,
Who fucking knows?
Hey, Scotty,
But they closed the thing down. Okay, we've got some good eerie bits coming up now. Oh, have we got Joan McCall again in here? Is she in this sequence? Oh yeah, there she is. This rather pointless character. Really, she is. She's pointless. It's just used to kind of soften Kelly down a bit.
Well, so was I. I'm glad to stop by. We're just getting ready to take off.
I'm coming with you.
Look, it's a butcher shop out there, huh? You just couldn't handle it.
I couldn't.
Alright, maybe I couldn't handle it then.
Look, I'll stay out of your way.
Honey, it's not safe out there now. I don't want to see you get hurt. I mean, for both our sakes.
Is that a line that's supposed to make me feel grateful?
See, you got a bit of.
Playing little board games.
You just said the wrong thing.
There's nothing wrong with this.
You're going with me.
You know, oh God, it's just female stereotyping. Oh, she's just hanging on. She's a bit of a useless character. I'm saying that, but in the actual relationship here, I would be the same. No, I'm going out there. You're to Mrs. Kilt-Man. You're not going out. No, mainly because I don't want to have to fucking worry about you. Oh, but I can look after myself. Blah 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 blah, and all that kind of shit. Well, no, look. This is the way it is. Sorry, I'm talking ahead of myself here because this is a good bit here. Look at this. These hairy bastards here asleep in their fucking mosquito traps. That's all they are. I mean, I think you can kind of tell that this is not our big bear. Oh, look.
20 years.
So, a bear cub has wandered into their little encampment.
This might be that old Grizzly's cub.
No way.
It's a possibility. Hey, listen.
So there you've got a real bear. Now, that is a brown bear. Or is it? Do you know what? You can't tell, can you? Let's be honest, you can't really tell. It's so fucking black anyway.
We use this cub as bait.
Cheeky bastard.
Back in there, find us a clearing, move around the blinds. Old mom will come by.
They would do this, actually. Look at these two dickheads. They would do that, and it's... The thing is, they do lure in the correct bear. What's surprising is that the mama bear doesn't come around, but the big bastard does.
Yeah, that damn thing fights back.
Hey, we're gonna have to hold your nose down the damn thing won't come anywhere around.
He's wearing a yellow cap. Yellow in jaws is the signifier that the real shark is there. Oh, it's took out the... It's killed the bear cub.
Whose stupid idea was to use that cub as live bait? It was mine.
It was his!
That really doesn't make any difference anymore, does it?
Anybody see it happen?
She just grabbed up the cub. That was it.
You know one thing for sure. What's that? Our grizzlies are he instead of she.
Well, we already established that.
You know that. Been peeking? Don't have to. Only the males are cannibalistic. They'll eat a cub if they're hungry. Yeah, but does that help us then?
That also is not entirely true either. Only the male is cannibalistic. They'll all turn cannibalistic.
And then he stupidly run here. He could be listening to us right now. Well, if that's the case, maybe we can
Right now.
flush him out. Can we help? Yeah, but we go by the book.
Yeah, you three dickheads.
Everyone follows orders.
A lot of these people, by the way, are locals. So if you don't think they're particularly good actors, they're not actors. They've been brought in, a lot of people. Harvey Flaxman, William Girdler, and David Sheldon. They brought in a lot of the local population to play these roles, which I think is great. Inevitably it cheapens the movie because they're not actors, but it gives a real raw quality to it. And if you love exploitation, and particularly 70s exploitation, gritty, it only adds a unique flavour which you cannot recapture in cinema these days. You don't get it now. You don't get it. Everything's too heavily orchestrated. Even when things seem impromptu, it's not. See, our poor Tom's wants to fucking, get involved in a hunt. Another classic scene will come up. I know I'm really knocking this film, and I know I'm aware that it sounds like I am, but I'm going to keep reiterating, I adore this movie. I think it's very, very atmospheric. I find it tremendously exciting, and I do love the characters. And it really gets me every time. But I'm highlighting the points which are ridiculous. But I like these rural locals who've been yanked in to portray rural locals. Here you go. You're gonna get the sort of the Indianapolis speech will come up here. Now, to be fair, it's nowhere near as good as what it should be. It's a myth that they come up with.
Developing these brand new tranquilizer shells. Oh, Christ. That shell won't penetrate the hair of his chinny chin. I'm trying to
Get this little needle through his skin.
Oh, that's fine. We first got to knock him down. That baby won't do it. We'll see about that.
See, these two are constantly swapping between the Hooper and the Quint.
I think that old Grizzly's hungry again, huh? For a while I told you he just ate the cub. I doubt if he's hungry now. Yeah? Well, that was merely an appetizer, man. I figured that old Grizzly was had himself some human flesh.
See, I was saying before, they're talking to those three trappers that put the cub down there. And he said, so you didn't see what happened? No, he just took up the cub and that was it. So you did see what happened then? Yeah. I'm going to turn this up now.
Anyway, this herd of grizzlies, smell them out. They come in, they ate them. They tore them all away. Little children, sick ones, everybody.
This is a herd of grizzlies took
There's
down
a few braves that was healthy enough to go out on a hunt.
an entire Indian village.
They come back. And the grizzlies turned on them. So there you have no situation. A whole herd of man-eating grizzlies. This is rearing land. Tearing up Indians. Pretty hard to believe. Unless you happen to be one of them Indians.
It doesn't work, does it? You know, see,
Kelly,
there you had a little situation. A whole herd of man-eating grizzlies running around, tearing up Indians.
You got down.
But like,
Oh, Paul's mom. Does your mom and
I mean, when Quint delivers his infamous Indianapolis speech, it's a real event, and it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, a rescue. He just comes up with like, oh, there was a legend about a herd of man-eating grizzlies, and then, but there's no like resolution to it. Well, what happened to them?
Really as disappointed as she would be if she had had you for a son. Sonny. Scotty.
I see these two have this sparring thing going on.
Who's running first? You get back out. But I don't want you going out in those woods alone.
Jacob's a really good actor, you know, and the thing is that it does come across in this film. He's got some naff dialogue, I'll be honest, but I buy into the fact that he's totally committed as a naturalist and a researcher and studier of the wildlife. Here's Arrow Tower. Oh yeah, it's a fire break tower. Fire watch. And there's horny old Ranger Tom. He's got no women to go after now, has he? Every woman he's even looked at has been ripped up. He's the kiss of death, isn't he? Look! If you look at that view, it's a beautiful view. There's been many shots when the helicopter shots are in, especially during the opening credit sequence. And here you can see tons of farmsteads and houses. So that's actually quite a populated area. Oh dear, that is a bad binocular shot, isn't it? But he's up on Arrow Tower. He wants a crack at the bear because it killed Gale, obviously. And they say, no, we're putting you on there because you'll get the best shot at him. If we drive, using all the hunters are going to flush the bear down, which they do. This is actually a success. I love these bits of music. I forget the cameraman's name, the cinematographer, but he does a good job, you know. When I was a kid, that tower seemed huge to me, and then obviously when I caught up the film on TV, they used to play this film a lot on TV as well, UK TV. I'd watch it every time. That tower, in my kid's mind, was always a huge, big thing. But it ain't no big thing. Oh, there's our bear. Jesus Christ, fucking cute. But the bear's going for the tower. Oh, it's just Star Trek shaky cam here. Come on, mate, get a shot off, come on. God, you were determined to get your shot off earlier. almost there. Not quick enough. I know it's dead low budget and hokey, but I do love this scene. Oh. Here's you can see the dummy. But you do see the body getting plummeted down. Here they all are, and oh, just too late. But the bear can't be far away. Ooh. Now the bear didn't eat him, didn't rip him up. So I mean, you're making the bear into a supernatural aggressor now, a slasher bogeyman. Don't mind that in the context of the movie. I don't mind that at all. It's perfect. He hasn't eaten this guy, so look at all the. This is the thing as well, actually, because the bear will now move down into a populated area. You know, when you think about it, there'd be a way of. Oh yeah. There's a guy that looks like Peter Benchley being interviewed. Peter Benchley starred as the reporter in Jaws, right? Peter Benchley look-alike. That guy interviewing is actually Harvey Flaxman, who's the producer of this movie, doing his own Peter Benchley cameo in the movie as a reporter. He's doing Murray Hamilton there, isn't he? He looks like him there. My kids are on that beach too.
Just listen. You got time here. As first killing took place up there. You circled and killed. Circled and killed. Circled and found and killed Gil.
I love that. How do you know he's circled and killed? You know, you've got like a line of pins. You could have just gone like dunk, 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 dunk.
Know what we're thinking, and I'd like to get the jump on him this time.
The grizzly is an animal, Kelly. Don't give it human qualities.
I do like this. I like the way that Kittredge seems to warm. Like at the start of that scene, he was actually like, you know, what can we do? He's sort of on the side. And then he kind of remembers, no. I'm still in charge here, and you bastards are going to take the rap for this, not me. So I'm going to reassert my authority and shit on you from a great height.
Charlie, close the part and give me another crack at it.
There's no need to close the heart.
You know that there are more reporters out there and TV cameramen than there are animals.
But the problem is that in reality, when people go missing and there's murders in these parks, these guys do not close the parks. And they keep it hush-hush. This has been proved for decades now. It's all coming to a head now.
We're doing everything in our bullshit. You know, I just figured you out. You don't give a good goddamn if we get that grizzly or not. As long as you get your press, so you can go to Washington and get one of those nice dark brown plastic offices.
You see that as well? Park administrators use it as a stepping stone to go into politics, to go into government. They do.
You are finished, dismissed, removed. Yours.
Up yours. There's an actor in a British soap called Emmerdale. Used to be known as Emmerdale Farm. And he's the bully boy, but he's also got a heart of gold. And he's the anti-hero of it. And his name is Kane Dingle in the show. He's played by Jeff Hordsley, I think his name is. Jeff Hordsley is Christopher George reincarnated. Check him out. Google him. Jeff Hordsley, Emmerdale. And you'll see a face not too dissimilar from Christopher George. And his attitude and his sort of, edgy rage is very similar.
Do you know the kind of real estate deal I could make in this property?
I mean, if it was private.
A lot of park rangers live live on the site. The seasonal ones come in, obviously, but the ones on the site, they know a lot of the shit that's going on, and a lot of them can't talk about it, won't talk about it. But you do get whistleblowers who remain anonymous about the weirdness, but also about the administrative bureaucracy and red tape and the cover-ups that take place. You need to bear this in mind. There's national parks all over the world. Every country's got them, but there seems to be. I'm branching out to other video territory here, but there seems to be something about a national park, the way it's been set up. These areas are reserved, and in America they're federal as well, so it's government sanctioned, government run. But there's something about these areas, and in America they're huge. In the UK they're fucking tiny. You know, got one on my doorstep, Snowdonia. Disappearances happen there, things happen there. Oh, look, it is one of the big infamous scenes.
Yes, ma'am.
Just playing with my bunny. Now I like this, that the bear's been driven down to now we've seen his face, you can show it again. He's been driven down to the hamlets and the towns, and again you saw them in the long shots, so you know you're getting nearer to civilization. There's a good red herring in this sequence as well, but they don't pull no punches here. You think, oh no, it's gonna get him out there, and then he's back with the bunny. Big Nick Cage moment. When you put the bunny back in the box. Fuck no. Oh. Now if you look there, I'll come back to it. Oh. It's fucking sheared his leg off below the knee. Oh, kills his mother in front of him as well. Fuck no. That's a shocking scene, that. There's your Alex Kitten from Jaws. Kid getting killed. Oh, she's back. I forgot she would reappear again. There's Kittredge. Yeah. Your soul's gone now, hasn't it, man? It just leaked through your ass. Harvey Flaxman, producer. Wire-wool hair and that big mad tash. Could be a 70s porn star. Possibly was.
Carnival over? Yes. Everybody goes? Yes. That includes the press, mister.
So you get the fuck out of here.
People have a right to know.
Man.
Not your story. Stories about greed. I don't want him to go to Washington. Feeling sorry for myself.
You think this is just trite
When your hands aren't clean, you get past.
screenwriting, and it is for its time, but it's so what is happening,
Like it was.
and it's almost like I would be pissing in the wind if I said to you that they knew that David Sheldon and the producers and the maker of this movie knew what was going on in national parks. They didn't. They didn't even suspect. It was just an exploitation story. But they have nailed a real problem with American national parks. American specifically, but probably far greater. And that's a good shot, actually. And that's a good shot too. Even though that rain is just sprinkling down from the side there. But I like that shot. Do you know there's a Mandela effect? And you know that scene where the little lad got his leg sheared off, his mother got killed. I always remember the shot of the little white bunny with blood all over it, and it isn't there.
Thank you. Being over my head.
It just isn't there. But I always remembered it being there. It's not being cut out, it's just not there.
Right. If this ain't all we're running.
It's got a rocket It's got a rocket launcher. Couldn't even say it then.
200 goods. People.
He's on about gooks in Vietnam.
It get personal,
It ain't personal.
but it did get personal anyway. So I stopped counting and tried to stop caring. Now I don't care.
He's going into Quint mode.
Not
Pure
even
Quint.
twice. Made myself that promise.
Just don't care now. Gonna kill them all.
Sorry ain't necessary. It's my choice. I could have said no. Where's Scott?
Oh, he went out there on his own. He's crazy.
Right, so these two are going to go out in the helicopter to hunt the bear, but Scott has gone out on his own, and you get his lovely little harmonica motif. He's on a little pinto pony. Richard Jekyll was a little guy as well, like, sadly he's deceased as well. Richard Jacobs in so many westerns. One of my favourite westerns of all time, Ulzana's Raid. I've covered it massively on the channel, massive big video on Ulzana's Raid, and he's wonderful in it. He's also in the late 60s highly kitsch, camp and outrageous sci-fi epic, The Green Slime, and he's wonderful in that as well. He was in Spencer for Hire with Robert Urich, the late great Robert Urich as well. Very dry. Oh, hello. Helicopter. Haven't tried that yet. So now we've seen the bear, they're showing the bear quite a lot. So there's a real bear, folks. There's a real bear. The big fairy arm that hits people and and holds people up, that's a guy in a suit, obviously. Okay. So you've got a deer.
Now that Army regular you got ain't gonna get what we need. It's his 30-06 with a K4 scope on it for fast shooting. You gonna need it.
For fast shooting. It's not going to be any faster. I've got a bit more power to it. You've got a better scope.
I wish my mom had taught me how to tie knots. Let's take it over there somewhere.
Both these guys, by the way, posed for Playgale. Both of them. Christopher George got his tool out and was a bit of a sensation. And Andrew Prine did it as well. And Andrew Prine, who's doesn't look the most rugged and muscular of people, like doesn't look on a par with Christopher George. But the fucking snake he had between his legs, Jesus Christ! Honest to God, if you look at me, don't look at the film, look at me. My God! It was a serpent!
What do you think I'm doing?
Looks like you're holding your cock, mate. That's what it looks like.
Come here, sweetheart. Okay.
No, that's not a prop. That's a real bear. That's a real Bambi.
Alright. I'll fill in the blind.
Here we go. And you can see that when it's on all fours, and that was actually the fare was black in that sequence. Look, that's a different bear to that bear. This bear ain't stupid. Like, oh, like that. So you want me to come in and get that? Okay. I can smell you guys. And I can hear that as well, so fuck you. And of course this in Jaws is the man against beast with the barrels. The first big chase with the shark. You've seen the shark. go thinking, oh, they look dead clumsy when they run. If you watch a bear run, Christ almighty, the speed they can reach is phenomenal. They will catch you regardless, no matter what fucking running shoes you're wearing. For its time, that's actually not too bad. You know, they're not exactly busting a gut running there, but there's a cameraman racing alongside them and they're going through trees.
Lost. We're right behind you. I don't know about that. Is this gone? Crazy.
They'd be sweating like sweaty things.
Let's go back to
There was a line I was going to come out with there, which I thought better of. There you are, harmonica. It's gotta be. It's old Scotty in his double denim and his pinto pony and his little beanie hat and one of his horrible butties probably. So really, what Scotty's doing there? Scotty's become the Hooper again, and it basically all the sequences of him, it's like Hooper going down in the cage. You go in the cage. Cage goes in the water. You go in the water. Sharks in the water. Our shark. So the bears come back, second round and took the deer. Haha, made a fool out of you two. That's nice as well. Great shot, that nice silhouette. I will say, Jacob's a little bit too sort of like wowed by everything he sees. When he lives out in the woods all the time, nothing should really shock him apart from like, he should be a bit more reserved in his wonderment about what he's beholding. Okay. Bear shit. Actually, I'm not even sure what the hell. What did he find there? Was that the remains of the deer? It gets cold in them there woods. In that town. You keep that fucking rifle close, man. You'd find it hard to get to sleep, wouldn't you? Really. It's bad enough being in the woods at night anyway. It's fucking noisy. And if you're out in proper wilderness and you cut off, I know some people do it all the time. They go out hunting, they live out, they trek, they hike for a couple of weeks at a time, like, and they're living off the land.
Just in case you should.
Amazing. Done a fair amount of it in my time, but
and don't kiss it back, cause it ain't me. That ain't funny.
And it is beautiful, and it's also exceptionally scary. It is, especially if there's only a couple of you out there. You don't know what else is out there, you know. But it's beautiful. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. This is a great shot. This. Look at this now. Look at that. A nice move in. You can always tell. Did they want to do that reverse zoom shot of Brody on the beach in Jaws? Would have been great. If they'd done it, it would have been too obvious. But it's great. It's like there's now you've got that vendetta. After the estuary attack in Jaws, you have a similar shot of Brody looking out into the between the struts of the pier, looking out goes on his face and it goes out. Very similar to that. It's done far cheaply here and with less impact, but I still acknowledge what the impact is there. I still think it works. Oh, Scotty. Come on, man. Yeah, listen. That warbly electro element. Pure 70s warble. It's great. It's great. 70s was so nihilistic, so dark-hearted, so mean-spirited. This film is dark-hearted and mean-spirited. You've seen a kid get maimed, his mum get killed, women getting slain. There's corruption rife everywhere. Ah, the lovely woods. Lovely, isn't it? Now there's the deer that they put down. They used as bait. Folks, I can't ride a horse. Random. Joe Rando here. I can't ride a horse. I'm fucking rubbish. I've ridden horses and I've never enjoyed it, and they don't like me either. I've been held from a horse. They've bolted and I've hung on for dear life and been smacked out of the saddle by a tree. I do not like horses. Oh, no, I love horses, but I'm not a rider. I love Native Americans. I love the culture, the heritage. You know, I love US cavalry, but no. You're not ever going to see Kilt-Man riding a horse. It ain't going to happen.
Negative. I'm leaving right now. I'll meet you halfway. Scotty.
Oh, and Casey in Montana. About a year ago, you invited us out there to go to a lot of battle sites, and you said we go horse tracking. That's the reason why, mate. I can't do it. I can't do it. Right.
Come on.
So he's dragging that now, of course, to try to lead the bear. And the bear's there! Oh, horse's head, Godfather. Oh God, no. You can't get to your rifle. You're the guy that knows this thing inside out. Shit. Oof. Down he goes. Now, I've talked about this sequence many times on the channel. This sequence really bothered the hell out of me. I've got the novelization is there, just there, I'm pointing to it there. Oh, he throws his body, and then look at his face, it's covering him over. It's like fucking... Yeah. Look at it. You've annoyed me, you. I'll come back for you. He said about them burying the food and coming back to it later, to feast later. And in the book, the novelization, shit, this sequence is incredibly far nastier than what you see in the movie. But look at this, and it's beautifully filmed as well. I love this sequence. He's in a shallow grave, but is our Scotty dead? No. There is a zombie movie sort of premonition here. Coming out from the grave. Look at this. Love this. I'm convinced by it. It's just, he wakes up in shock. In the book, it describes how the bear's claw has punctured his lung, so he has to cover the wound because it's making a sucking sound out of the wound in his lung. I love his realization that, shit, where am I? Oh God. Imagine the fear and the pain you'd be in, and just like, oh God, I'm alive. Oh, let me get out of here. Oh, I've got to do this. Come on. Oh, I've made it. Hello. My evening meal doesn't normally wake up again. Oh, look, I mean, it's just, what can you do? Like, oh, forget it. Doesn't that? Oh, we are. Again, I love these scenes where people. This film has so many great scenes where the guys come up upon, the aftermath. I mean, okay, I think there'd be far worse done to him there. It's not quite as effective, but it's still bad enough.
How are we gonna get him back?
I love the way that Christopher George looks away there.
Valiant here.
There are schools of thought that say like he didn't know how to react to that sequence, so that's why he looked away. He said like, just take it. I mean, the character's in shock. It works for me. It works completely. But if you look at his face there, it's also like, okay, what do we do now? But I do like the way that's done. In the 70s, that sequence alone, that run up, the horse decapitation, the attack on Scotty, thrown in the shallow grave, waking up, and then being taken down again. In a way, you can encapsulate the 70s and the 70s approach to cinema with that sequence. Shit happens and you will get done in. Doesn't matter how heroic, how understanding you might be of what your foe is. And the old good guys always get away with it, always win the day. No. Fate will still fuck you up. The 70s was the great big the cloud, the black cloud. There's no happy endings. What you missed there, because I was talking over, it was Don. Chop apart at Don saying, I know I was always ribbing on that guy, but I love the old guy, I know. It's a very sobering moment in the movie, that, to be honest. One of our main guys got took out. In the book Jaws, Hooper does die in the cage descent. The shark kills him. So they've basically gone back to Benchley's original novel by killing the Hooper, at that time, the Hooper character, who's made the self-sacrificial descent into the abyss. In this case, riding out alone on a horse into the woods. There you go. There's a man in a bear suit. Not there, obviously. Come down here. Let's play. Yeah, watch out for them trees. Oh, he's a Vietnam pilot. So that's Teddy. They do seem to make him look very slow when he's running in this movie. I don't know why they've done it that way. Maybe just to keep him in the frame for as long as possible. Keep him in the shot. To be fair, unless you put a tracker on him, you wouldn't find him in thick woods. You'd have to go into clearings before you'd find him again from the air. You wouldn't be able to track him. Look, see that? Christopher George is smiling. He's enjoying the thrill of the chase. Brody does that as well in the big barrel chase. Brody enjoys it. Fast fish.
Shut it down. Sure. Yeah, let's go after him. He's tired, he's scared, he's come back out.
He's tired, he's scared. He's fucking anything but. I love this. You have to go outrageous, you have to go bigger. And the film does this. Right, get out now. Yeah. Hey! Fuck off. I love that. I love the way he does that. It's like the realization. Preempting Jaws 2 as well, where the shark takes on a helicopter. Bear did it before. Oh, there you get the reverse shot, the reverse zoom. They did do it, but they reserved it for Andrew Prime. Oh, fucking hell. You know, even though that bear's tame and friendly in real life, you could be shitting yourself. Oof. So it's taking bullets there as well. Powerful, high caliber bullets. But it's raw muscle. It's. Oh, there's the quince. Yeah. The bloody mouth. Oh, the way he lands, it looks horrible as well. Right. Okay, you get a bit of time stalling here when he falls over. Just pick it up, fire it. Good shot, that, like that. Is it? Oh, my next trick. Oh, where's the trigger? Yeah. Oh, there. And of course it is Jaws. Smile, you son of a... Blow up! He's lost everyone. He's lost half his rangers. All the campers have been eaten. He's lost his best friends. He's probably lost his job as well. I'm not entirely sure he can fly a helicopter back out of there either. Oh, this lovely little sort of lament. This outdoors lament here. I love that too, the burning patch of you know, bear fare. Robert O'Raglan wrote a song for this, What Makes a Man, which you're hearing, and you'll hear it, it's the main theme, but on the soundtrack you'll hear several versions of the song, What Makes a Man. What makes him think, I can. Look at that. So you don't even get to see him back with, Joan McCall Allison. But when you think back to Jaws ends with the two of them. Okay, it's a happier ending because at least two of them survived, and they paddle back to the shore. But you don't see Brody go back to Lorraine Gary as Ellen Brody. The producers greatly acknowledged the cooperation of Frank Rickman and the people of Clayton, Georgia in making this picture. A film then ensures international release. Folks, there you go. That's Grizzly. That's a film that I adored as a kid, and I've adored all my life ever since. And although I sat there and basically took the piss out of it from start to finish, I still adore it. I think it's a wonderful, great, atmospheric, not creature feature, but a nature versus man thing, which was a huge sort of the 70s really put a lot of Night of the Lepus, rabbits on the rampage, Nightwing, vampire bats, frogs, squirm, Jaws, obviously Piranha. You had all this sort of stuff, all of this. And they've all got their merit. They're all got their own sort of shtick, their own thing. Frogs is especially inventive, to be honest. And Night of the Lepus about the giant killer bunnies. It's just Monty Python, isn't it? You know? Go on, Paws, chop its head off. Right, one rabbit stew coming up. Even that has its it takes its premise seriously. So you have to, no matter how preposterous it actually turns out to be. But Grizzly, it towers. It's got a lot of failings, I'll admit. But Christopher George is awesome. The triumvirate, Christopher George, Richard Jekyll, Andrew Prime, are great. Joe Dorsey as Kittredge. There's a bit of toing and froing with him, screenplay wise. They know what they're trying to achieve, and they do achieve it. But they lessen him in some particular sequences where it should really be maintained at the high level. And then after the kid gets his leg took off, that should be the pivotal point. That should be my kids were on that beach too. That should have been that moment. But they do little bits of it earlier on. They soften him and then they go and really go for broke. And he's a nasty twat all over again. But as I've said, he is exactly what park directors and administrators are in most of the US national parks. And, you know, it's scary stuff. And this preempts all of the David Paulides missing 411 phenomenon. It does, it shows what the national parks are really like. And this was from 1976, for God's sake, and they didn't know that. They just guessed and used it as a template, use it as an idea for their story about, you know, camp bureaucracy. Ripping it off from Jaws, of course, but it's so prescient that when you watch it now, if you know about the missing 411, it really does add another level of genuine stuff. Folks, anyway, I've now been ordered to vacate this premises. Probably that time's coming. So that was Grizzly from 76. Awesomeness. Threadbare budget. A crap sequel was made, and it's only half made, and it came out many years later on. Don't bother with it. It's rubbish. It has no bearing on this movie whatsoever. This is a standalone film. Bear that in mind. Paul William Gerber, the director of this movie, died 2 years after making this, whilst out scouting locations in the Philippines for another movie. Helicopter crash. Tragic. Richard Jekyll, dead. Christopher George, dead. Heart attack. But this film will stand the test of time. It's a glory of cheap B-movie exploitation, but it's phenomenal. Folks, I have been always shall be Kilt-Man. Please, rejoin me later. And didn't that last well? My God. So please, keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. Be safe in the woods, y'all. And I'm going to see you all later. Who's been sleeping in my bed?